You've been lied to about getting your ex back. Everything you think you know about making her come back begging is completely backwards. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why she's staying away and the one counterintuitive strategy that will make her desperate to have you back. But first, I need to tell you about the biggest mistake you're probably making right now. You're doing something that feels right, that seems logical, but it's actually pushing her further away every single day. You're being available. Right now, you're probably checking your phone, hoping for her text. You're scrolling through her social media, looking for signs that she misses you. You think this shows you care. But here's what it actually shows. You're still the same predictable person she walked away from. And that predictability, that's your biggest enemy. But here's where it gets interesting. And this is something most people never understand. The reason she's not coming back has nothing to do with what you did wrong in the relationship. It has everything to do with what you're doing wrong right now. She's not avoiding you because she doesn't have feelings for you. She's avoiding you because she knows exactly what to expect from you. She knows you're waiting. She knows you're available. She knows you haven't changed. Now, I'm going to share the 3-part strategy that completely flips this dynamic, but you have to understand all 3 parts for this to work. The 3rd part is the most powerful, but it only works if you master the first 2. The first part is what I call the Disappearance Principle. And this isn't about playing games or being manipulative. This is about genuine transformation. Right now, you exist in her world as a constant. She knows where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling. Even if you're not talking, she can predict your behavior. That certainty is keeping her away. But the moment you become unpredictable, something shifts in her psychology. Suddenly, she doesn't know where you are or what you're thinking. That uncertainty creates what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains obsess over unfinished business. When you disappear completely from her reality, you become unfinished business in her mind. But here's the crucial part, and this leads to the 2nd principle. You cannot disappear and stay the same person. If you just hide from her while remaining exactly who you were, the moment she sees you again, nothing will have changed. The 2nd principle is complete reinvention. You have to become someone she's never met before. Think about this. She left a specific version of you. She walked away from the patterns, the habits, the person you were in that relationship. If you want her back, you can't be that person anymore. This means hitting the gym not to impress her, but to feel powerful in your own skin. Learning new skills, not to show off, but to expand your capabilities. Building new social connections, not to make her jealous, but to create a life so fulfilling that her presence becomes optional, not necessary. But here's what most people get wrong about reinvention. They think it's about becoming someone better for their ex. That's backwards. You become better for yourself, and that transformation naturally makes you irresistible to others, including her. Now, here's the 3rd and most important principle, and this is where everything comes together, the Incompleteness Strategy. This strategy makes each piece of your transformation meaningless without the others. Just like you can't build muscle with exercise alone, you need proper nutrition, rest, and consistency. Your new life needs to be so interconnected that she can't understand who you've become by looking at just one piece. Let me explain how this works in practice. She might hear from a mutual friend that you've been hitting the gym, but that information is incomplete without knowing about your new career goals. She might see on social media that you're learning new skills, but that's meaningless without understanding your new social circle. Each piece of information about your transformation raises more questions than it answers. This creates what I call curiosity loops in her mind. Every piece of information about your new life makes her more curious about the complete picture. And here's the psychology behind this. Humans are wired to seek completion. When we have incomplete information about something we once understood completely, it becomes obsessive. You were once completely known to her. Now you're becoming a mystery. But here's the critical part that most people miss. You cannot reveal the complete picture to her, even when she starts reaching out. Each interaction should give her just enough information to create new questions. When she texts you, and she will, your response should be friendly but brief. Not cold, not angry, just busy. Like someone who has so much going on that lengthy conversations aren't a priority. When she asks what you've been up to, don't give her the full story. Give her one interesting detail that makes her wonder about everything else you're not sharing. This is what creates the begging dynamic. She starts small, maybe liking an old photo, maybe a casual comment. But when those small gestures don't get the predictable response she expects, her investment increases. She starts asking mutual friends about you. She starts paying closer attention to your social media. She starts wondering if she made a mistake. And here's where the transformation becomes crucial. By the time she's ready to reach out properly, you need to be genuinely different. Not just acting different, but actually different. Because when she does come back begging, and she will, it won't be because you waited for her. It won't be because you convinced her with words or gestures. It will be because you became someone she couldn't ignore, someone she couldn't stop thinking about, someone she realized she couldn't live without. But here's the beautiful irony of this entire process. By the time you master these 3 principles, by the time you've genuinely transformed yourself using the Disappearance Principle, Complete Reinvention, and the Incompleteness Strategy, you might realize something unexpected. You might realize that the person you've become deserves someone who chooses them consistently, not someone who only comes back when they're afraid of losing you. The real victory isn't getting her back begging. The real victory is becoming the person who doesn't need anyone to beg because you're too busy building a life that's already complete. She will come back begging for you, but only when you stop begging for her to come back. And that transformation, that's what makes you irresistible, not just to her, but to everyone who meets the new you.